What's after your twin flame for you? Hi, beautiful soul. Thank you for joining me, Mystic Miya, here on Mostly in the Moment for another love pick card reading. This was going to be my last twin flame reading for the season. I just feel like there's a lot of strong twin flame energies right now. I'm definitely getting a lot of client reads in regards to their twin flame energies. But if you're on my wave and you've been following me, or you've been just kind of on this general wave, light worker starseed twin flame wave, you're kind of coming to a conclusion with your twin flame energies, or you already have. And so I got the recommendation from the comment section to do what would your twin flame say to you now. And I was going to do like a companion read with what your twin flame would say to you now, and then the next reading being what's after your twin flame for you. But as I was kind of channeling what would come through that reading, I kind of already knew that it would be exactly what your higher self and your spirit guides would say to you. You know, you did a great job with your healing journey, what you learned in terms of love, not just in romantic love, but divine love, self-love, and love with other people you have a strong connection with, and love in general with your passion, and, you know, being your authentic self, following your heart, you know, making sure your heart and mind align, and that all that kind of stuff. And so this is what their higher self would say to you too. But would their human self, would their physical self be aware of this? Probably deep down. Would they think of you? Maybe, probably very deep down. But on the day-to-day, are they thinking that deeply? No. It's going to be your guides and your higher self and their higher self saying all that to you. And yeah, we can see their like goodbye message, or what they would say to you if they bumped into you. But at this point, if you're on my wave, if you're on this wave, you don't really care what they have to say. You kind of already know. You're not thinking about if they bump into you. And it's the same messages that your higher self is basically saying to you, your spirit guides are saying to you. So I feel for my collective wave of twin flame, fellow twin flame journeymen, we're on to the next thing already. I definitely have a lot of client reads talking about, yeah, I'm over my twin flame, but, you know, I kind of just want to see if there's anything there, if there's anything I need to do, you know, what's next, how is that kind of applied to my life now. You kind of know what the twin flame energy and journey was for you at this point, and you're kind of closing it out, ready for the next thing, or you've been there for a minute and you don't mind checking out a twin flame reading now, because it's not like you're already in that energy. So doing what your twin flame would say to you now, even though it'd be a fun read, and I might do that another season, it's not the energy that I know the people on this wave need in regards to their twin flame connection. Anything is just to wrap it up, and get motivation for moving forward, or just kind of any energy that might be helpful in regards to that journey. But at this point, you know, that journey is what it means to you. You put a different meaning on it. You understand what happened and why it happened. And I love the twin flame energies. Oh God, is there anything more divine and more beautiful than the twin flame energy? Oh, it's so beautiful, and I love it. I will always love it. But for this season, you know, 11/11 just passed. We're just going to wrap this up. Whenever you come across this is timeless. Timestamps are below. You can pick a pile based on the energy, the colors, the numbers, the crystal, the emojis that resonate with you. And I hope you enjoy the reading. Much love and light. Hi, beautiful pile 11 with the Aura Quartz. We're looking at what happens after the twin flame for you. Okay, so let's look at what's happening immediately, what's happening next for you in love, long-term in love, and then the significance of your twin flame later on in life. Okay, so what happens immediately after your energy officially ends or is ready to move on from your twin flame. Because like you might think so, we might think that it's over, but then there's still stuff to do. It might take cycles. For some of you, when you say something, you mean it, and your energies will know that. But when you are officially done, these are the signs and synchronicities you'll get. This is will happen immediately after, so you know that you are in fact done with this energy, or done with whatever is supposed to do for you at this time. Okay. So we have fall energies. Okay, so I'm getting this kind of a little bit of like a romantic, like, ending of a season. You know how with the fall, you have like the leaves changing colors, and there's kind of like a beauty to the ending of this bountiful period. And I'm getting this kind of energy of like when you started your twin flame journey. It might have been around the same time that you started your spiritual journey or had a spiritual awakening, or just a lot of spiritual things started happening. Maybe it was a second spiritual awakening for some of you, but for most of you, it happened around the same time as your spiritual awakening, or when things started to get a little bit more intense spiritually for you, and you're figuring all these things out, and it's like amazing, it's beautiful, it's the spring, it's a start, it's the beginning of all these energies. And there was a summer where you kind of sit in that energy, and it's so beautiful. All these spiritual things are happening, signs, synchronicities, messages from your twin flame, songs, and all these readings are resonating with you so much. And then you probably had a fall and winter and all those types of energy cycles of them. But I'm getting this fall energy is a bit different, because this is when your energies are done. You're kind of looking back at your twin flame energy, being like, how beautiful is that? What a beautiful way to look at love. What a beautiful way to look at another energy that you connect with, that how much it taught you, how much you've learned about how you love and how other people love, and how other people may not love that deeply or that profoundly or see life in that way, but how amazing is it that you do and you got that experience. So I'm getting for you specifically pile 11 that you might not everyone's going to have this after the conclusion of their twin flame energy, or a conclusion of that cycle for them. But I do get for you that you're going to experience type of like bittersweet, nostalgic, kind of looking back and being like, yeah, I did that. How beautiful was it? Looking at the good times, and even how the difficult times were beautiful after the fact, maybe. How there was like beauty in the entire journey. And not everyone's going to kind of look back and be nostalgic and review kind of the energies. I feel like you're not even intentionally reviewing. It just is coming up. It's just kind of things that are reminding you of things that happened during the journey between you and your twin flame, and it's making you feel a little bit more nostalgic. It's making you look at things with a warmer heart and more rose tinted glasses, maybe more sepia tinted glasses. I like the sepia tone, the brown tone. Sunglasses and stuff. It just makes everything feel so like summer back in the day or something like that. I'm getting that type of energy. It's just like bittersweet. It's just warm, and it kind of like the beauty in endings. Like, all good things come to an end, and it's like you're not feeling like bad about it ending, but you're looking forward to it ending. You feel good that it's finally ending. But just kind of like being like, yeah, it was sweet. It was sweet while it lasted, wasn't it? There's no like resentment. There's no, I feel like I wasted my time. There's an energy of like, wow, that part of my life is coming to an end. And, I'm happy to move forward, but I'm also happy that I had this experience. But, and, just letting yourself be in the moment to kind of, because you're not going to get this moment back where it's just like, I'm about to move forward, but I get to look back and be like, I'm done with that. But and embrace it, kind of. Okay, so what happens to you immediately? What are some signs? The Moon card. Wow. Okay. Satisfying emotional needs. Yeah, you're going to feel so satisfied. Like, that's why I'm getting like no resentment. It's just kind of like a full energy. Like you're kind of warm. I'm getting that energy like after you drink like a glass of hot cider or like, you know, hot coffee or something warm, and your whole body is like warmed up and you're kind of ready to put that glass down and do something else. Like I feel like that type of energy is the energy you're in. Like you feel all warm and toasty, and full and in a good energy to do something else because you're all warmed up. Does that make sense? And you kind of feel content, a little bit happy. You feel like you nurtured yourself. You feel really good about yourself. You're like, oh yeah, like I feel good. I'm feeling warm. I feel kind of that I did the right things. I learned what I need to learn. I'm a better person. You know, understand love so much better. I understand how I come at love so much better. Like I'm all warm and toasty and ready for whatever is next, even if it's not love right away, you know? So that's the type of energy I feel like you're in. You feel really satisfied with where you're standing in love. You're standing with yourself. You're standing with the divine, and, you know, with the twin flame journey. Train whistle, confirmation for me. Okay, so what happens next in love for you? What happens next in love for you? I was not expecting that. I don't know what to say. Okay. I feel kind of a little like a heat on my cheeks out of like a little bit of like embarrassment, but not too embarrassed, because kind of like it's like, oh, I was ready to move on, and then like this energy comes back. This person is your mirror soul. This is why your connection feels so sacred to you. Oh wow. And transgression. Okay, so for a lot of you, it might feel like you're kind of ready to move on, but you're not really there yet. You might feel like, oh, this season has ended, I'm ready to move forward. But for this pile 11, you may have just kind of finished one cycle of your twin flame energy. I gotta say, I mean, I've never seen anyone just be one and done with the twin flame energy, just hit it and quit it. Kind of, you can't. There's so many like different labels people put on it, like liminal energies or unrequited love, or, you know, it's 5D energies that you won't experience here in 3D, or not much, or not meant to. It's just your soulmate. I don't believe in twin flames. You can call it your divine counterpart, blah, 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 blah. But I do feel like these are the kind of things that our mind has to go through, like mental, like hoops to kind of try to understand, because the twin flame concept is so intense and so all encompassing. It's so overwhelming that it's very hard to fathom. It's really hard to digest, and you have to put it into bite-sized pieces. So oftentimes you have to go through many cycles, definitely more than one, to kind of wrap your head around it and kind of have it make sense to you, to kind of do what it needs to do. There's so many lessons that come from the twin flame journey, from the twin flame template, that theory, that if you choose to use that as a way to kind of learn your belief systems, how you connect with the divine, how you connect with your higher mind, then there is just so much you can unpack. It's just an incredible teaching tool that if you decide to take it on and, you know, kind of sorry, my kitten's playing with her tail. Kind of distracted me. I'm hearing chasing your own tail kind of thing, right? And then even the transgression, even so there's so many twin flames that felt like, oh, I feel like I cheated on my twin flame energy, and that's why I'm getting punished, or that's why they're not coming back into union with me, and that's why it's all done. I messed it up, like, you know, it's gonna take even longer now. Like a lot of people, they feel like they're gonna cheat on their twin flame energy, which is why they just stay abstinent for so long, and just, and there's so many lessons to all these things. Like, to be abstinent as like a whole, it teaches you so much. To like feel like you're cheating on someone's energies, to kind of feel that shame, or kind of like punishing yourself for doing something wrong. All these kinds of things are a lesson in themselves, right? A lot of times twin flames are, people who kind of allow for this teaching tool to kind of consume them in their life are people who are very empathic, who are energy sensitive, and are able to hold a lot of emotion, a lot of energy. And so there's like a lot of little like things like punishing yourself, and feeling like you owe someone something, or feeling like you have to finish an energy, or feeling like you have to do this and that. There's so many little things. A lot of us are like neurodivergent, or are extremely creative, and maybe kind of had our creativity withheld, and it comes out in weird ways, right? Like, or we were, those who kind of march to the beat of our own drum. There's like so many there's so many reasons that people kind of resonated with the twin flame journey, and a lot of people bash it, and I get it. Like, for some people, it's not the best tool for them, especially if you're not mentally, emotionally capable. Like, it is a very, very intense ideology and theory, and and there are a lot of emotionally and mentally weak people out there. Not, I'm judging anyone. We're all mentally, emotionally weak at one point in our lives, but there's people who may not have the experiences, or the background, or the have the wherewithal to kind of be able to compartmentalize, or not let it kind of like not be grounded enough to have it like push you over the edge at times. So like I get it, but like for most people, like I feel like people don't get enough credit. Like, people are strong mentally, emotionally. Our brains do amazing things to help us through difficult times. A lot of those difficult times are usually tied to deep emotions, to deep connections, whether it was one-sided or not, or short-lived for one person, or not, or something that affects one person more than the other, or not, like or both like equally, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just like, it was a profound experience that you had, and it affected you deeply and greatly, and you had to do something about it, because there's no way you could ignore it, and it's just going to continue to be around you, and you're going to think about it and feel it. And so it's like, you might as well do work in regards to it. I did hear this kind of theory that like, oh yeah, like, therapy is not that great, because, or self-help books and stuff like that, because, or inner work and spirituality, because it just manifests more inner work, right? More work to do, because your brain kind of thinks like, oh, you like doing this, let's do more of it. And I was kind of, I would give credit to that theory if I had not finished it myself, if I had not finished my inner healing work, which was like about 7 to 8 years. But I had to be really, really mentally strong. I had to set aside time for it. I had to do it in a very healthy way. You had to do mind, body, spirit, and soul at the same time. You had to do your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. You had to work on it all at the same time. You had to make huge sacrifices in your life in order to do that. You had to be very focused, and you had to be like, make sure that you want to do that. And a lot of people are not willing to do that. So, maybe it's not the right way to kind of go at self-help, self-therapy. And, a lot of people do need extra help, and we all do. We all need to talk about it with other people. But a lot of us don't know how to get started. But I do feel like there is an ending. There is a conclusion to healing journeys, and to the twin flame journeys. I honestly believe it. Do I feel like there's that people can be connected on a higher level energetically? Absolutely. Do I feel like a lot of twin flames are actually married on a high level energetically? Absolutely. Maybe whether it's coming from the same soul. But I do see in like 5D or higher levels, like actual two consciousnesses, two energy consciousnesses of coming together and being very much in a partnership or married, if for lack of a better word, on a higher level. I do feel like a lot of twin flames come here and find each other in the physical. I do feel like after being together for in the physical many lifetimes, that there are lifetimes where you choose to have different experiences on purpose. Do I feel like it's rare to find a twin flame? It's rare. The rarity comes from the fact that it's like souls that have been kind of grown, that are much older, that have, you know. I think there's a different factors why twin flames manifest less or more in the physical. Okay, I said what I had to say. Let's move on. Okay, so what's meant for you in love long term? Sorry, I'm kind of just saying everything that I feel like I've picked up on as questions in recent twin flame personal readings, and then just things that I've uncovered about the twin flame energy since I have been a twin flame reader for a very long time, and I have I've studied it, and you know, I have some sort of mastery in it. Very strongly, more than most kind of thing, right? Okay, what's meant for you in love long term? Two of Waves, Two of Wands, surging power. I feel like there's this energy of you have great power channeling through you that's meant to go through the door, meant to go through this like gate into the world, into the physical world. Okay, 6th house. Work and routine. Okay, I just saw 222. So I definitely feel you're definitely meant to, I'm getting like kind of snowball energy with your person. The 6th house here. Which is kind of generally your routine, you know, health, work, kind of day-to-day stuff, keeping clean kind of thing. Okay, between the 5th and 7th house, which is like, you know, basically fun, dating and marriage, I do feel like you and your partner are meant to build routines, have a daily routine that allows you to grow your power, grow your strength. I feel like for this pile, you've been always looking for someone to work with. Always looking for someone that can make you better. Not that you're not great alone, but it's just kind of like when you have two great people who want to work together, come together, you can accomplish more. You know, you can rely on each other to kind of do more. You can rely on each other for, like, if you can't get around the housework, their partner will pick up the slack, and vice versa. If one person's sick, the other person can pick up where you left off, kind of thing, and therefore go after bigger goals. You can go after bigger goals for yourself individually and mutually together as a couple. I feel like this pile, you always felt, even since you were young, that you work better together. And I feel like your lesson arc was kind of working alone, because you so badly want to work with another person. Always have that person around you. I feel like you would always prefer a partner. You'd always prefer to do things with a partner. Your lesson arc, mostly for the twin flame journey, was to learn how to enjoy life on your own, accomplishing things and doing things on your own, knowing that you can accomplish more together, but being okay with what you accomplish by yourself, enjoying time to yourself genuinely, not being okay if you don't end up working with a partner or with others, whether it's in work or in your home, working with others, working with your neighbors or your community or your group. So there's that energy of like being okay by yourself, because I feel like you might always like kind of try to substitute like if you couldn't have your twin flame, substitute it with another romantic partner, a friend, a coworker, work, something else. And Spirit's like kind of like, you got to be okay with just being on your own. You got to be okay and genuinely, more than okay, love and genuinely like leading a life of your own. Being a lone wolf, being a wanderer, doing your own thing. Not like not having that reliable thing. That must have been so hard, Pile 11, because I'm getting like even work, like even like relying on work and having work be your partner. I'm getting this was like a big challenge with money, especially because like love and money, energy, and in general, it's like all the same thing. So it was really difficult to develop a good relationship with money, with work, with your stability, with your routines. Because it was kind of like you're kind of asked to just be on your own. Build routines around yourself. But it's hard when Spirit's kind of taking away stability and routine and all your things, and health and work and, you know, anything. I feel like Spirit took away your routines. They put you, like, I'm hearing free fall. Almost like not getting attached to any one thing, not even like routines, or not even, oh wow. That must have been really incredibly difficult. Yeah, the Buddhist way, I'm hearing like attachment to nothing. Not even an attachment to one version of yourself. It was like ever changing. This is freaking me out a little bit. An ever changing version of yourself, your personalities, what you want, your dreams, your goals, and your routines, and even the ideas that you have in these routines, like specifically, which would be really difficult in the physical realm, would be work routines being affected, money energies being affected and constantly changing. You're experiencing a lot of different variety of things in all areas, and it was very difficult to kind of even feel the ground beneath you. It feels like you were in free fall this entire time. Wow, that was incredibly deep. It could be anything from minor, feeling like you don't have your teens down, or not being able to sit still, or have the same friends or the same partner or the same living situation or work schedule or something like that, all the way up to what I just mentioned. Wow, we're going deep. We're going there today. Okay, so what will be the significance of your twin flame later in life? Backstabbing. Yeah, that's what we want to hear, right? All right, great, divine. That's Spirit. That's lifting the veil. I'm hearing separation. Okay, so I'm not getting heartbreak, pain, loss, deception. I am getting separation. Your main challenge here was separation, the pain of separation from the divine, the pain of separation from your twin flame energy, the pain of separation from things that you finally took the time to like establish in your life, and then it was taken away. It was like kind of getting comfortable with that getting ripped out of you, you know? And that's when the divine energy comes back. That's when your twin flame energy comes back. That's when like the love energy and the work energy and the stability in your life comes back, because it was kind of like your test was like the being comfortable with instability, being comfortable with separation. Even if it's admitting that you're not comfortable with a separation, just being real and raw with yourself. What if God did abandon me? What if my twin flame energy did abandon me? What if my higher self did abandon me? My spirit guides did abandon me? What if my parents did abandon me? My grandparents, my children did abandon me? What if my partner did abandon me? What if my friends, my best friends did abandon me? What if my life goals abandoned me? What if my work abandoned me? What if my, it's kind of like the separation, feeling abandonment from source. And it kind of makes sense, because when you spiritually awaken, it's kind of like you're happy at first to be connected again, but then you're kind of like mad, sad, and angry that you were separated. And you kind of feel separated at times, and then you kind of get mad at God or whoever, the universe, spirit, and then you kind of feel the energy again and realize that you're never actually separated. But that's kind of one of the lessons here on earth, right? Lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Yeah, so I do feel like in this specific lifetime for you, Pile 11, later in life, your twin flame, when the energy comes up, is going to be reminding you that you're not separated, you're not abandoned. That's an illusion. And it's okay to feel that way, to feel kind of like, I don't like this, or I'm not comfortable with this, or I hate this, or you know what, I kind of, spirit guides, my twin flame energy has been driving me crazy recently. I'm kind of glad to have it gone for right now. However you feel towards the divine or this really divine love energy. Because it's meant to it's probably represent when your twin flame comes up for you again in the far future, or the future in general. It probably is to remind you everything unaligned must go. Even how you feel about how uncomfortable it might be to separate from something. If it's not meant for you in this lifetime, if it's not meant to be on your path right now or in this lifetime, you're going to be reminded of your twin flame. Like, you know what? It's uncomfortable being away from my twin flame energy, separated from the divine energies of heaven consistently, 24/7, all the time, really strongly. But you know what? I'm doing it, and I'm meant to do that right now. And I'm going to get as much I can out of this. I don't want to end up finishing this life and being like, oh, I didn't do what I wanted to do at that time, So I'm hearing like, take it like a champ and run with it, being like, hey, you know what? There's some stuff I wanted to do in this lifetime. There's some stuff I wanted to do on this path. And I'm going to be honest with myself, how I feel about it. It sucks. I don't want that. I want something different, or, I feel kind of lonely or abandoned. And then I'm going to get over it and move it along. I got one life to live. I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to finish this energy and go back to source energy, or to my twin flame, or to my higher self and my spirit guide, spirit team, and be like, I was just sulking the whole time. Address it, So whenever your twin flame comes up for you in the future, I do feel like it's a reminder for you to kind of take a peek behind the veil. You might need a little bit of comfort from your twin flame, from the divine, from your spirit guide, spirit team, from these types of ideologies and theories. And then be like, all right, it's still there if I need it, or, I'm still connected, but right now I gotta do what I gotta do. Pile 11, I just went with the flow. I just channeled what Spirit had me channel. Hopefully it resonated. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully it was helpful, or I don't know how to take this. I honestly don't. I'm very surprised by the energies that came through. Let me know what you think in the comment section, because this is highly bizarre even for me. All right, pile 11, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light. Hi, beautiful pile 22 with the Ocean Jasper crystal. We're looking at what's after the twin flame for you. All right, so we're going to look at what happens immediately, signs, synchronicities, to let you know this energy is completed, or the cycle is. What happens next in love for you, and then what's meant for you in love long term, and then what will be the significance of your twin flame later in life. Okay, so let's see what happens immediately after your twin flame energy officially leaves or ends, or it does what it's supposed to do in your life, and with some signs, synchronicities that you can expect, things you can see. Leader, okay. So I do feel like, and you probably know this, that, a lot of twin flames, they're spiritual leaders, and spiritual leaders come in all forms. So you can find spiritual leaders in any career, in any area of life, any background, any location, because they are meant to connect with people. They're meant to lead. They're meant to do a lot of things. And I was trying to think, I'm like, are there leaders that aren't spiritual? And I'm like, yeah, leaders who are actually not leaders. So true leaders are all spiritual. They're all intuitive, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're guided by intuition. You have a vision, and that's what you're meant to kind of bring out to the world, to your group, to your team. You're meant to kind of motivate, inspire, share your vision, keep people focused on that goal, that task, the mission. Have the knowledge, the wisdom, the skill sets to teach others, to move that vision, the passion, that project along, to be able to connect with people on your team, to understand what their personal goals, what they're personally getting out of this is, how they personally connect, what team member suits what area of that project best, how to keep it moving and going, how different things connect. A lot of spiritual leaders are able to connect a lot of different ideas, a lot of people, a lot of situations, a lot of different things to each other, and the best way, how to best fit something together, best organize things together, how best to time manage something. It's just how best to lead, how best to teach, how best to, motivate, get people excited, help heal others. It's just how to help people connect, get over their issues, whatever. That's what a true leader is. So all true leaders are actually very intuitive, very spiritual. And those in leadership positions who aren't actually true leaders, they're there for obviously different reasons. Looking out for more than yourself, the good of the many, that type of thing, right? Sacrificing. So that's going to come out very prominently for you, that aspect of yourself. You've always been a leader, and I feel like you've been kind of consciously, knowingly, or maybe even unknowingly strengthening those skills and abilities of yourself. You're about to show up in a really major way. This might come as like a promotion at work, change in roles, status, taking on more responsibilities in multiple groups in your life, multiple different groups of people or projects. You're about to show up in a big way. Okay, air in reverse. Open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. The thing is, you're very smart, you're very intuitive, you have a lot of ideas, and I feel like, do you know when someone like first steps into like a management or leadership type of energy, and they might have never held that position before or held it at that level, they're like, oh, it'll be easy. Like, I'm really good at this kind of stuff. But it's not about you doing these creative things. It's not about you doing it on your own. It's about you managing other people's ideas and visions and how they come at this. It's kind of it's a difficult type of energy, and you might get confused and like kind of overwhelmed because it's like, oh, I'm not dealing with my ideas and what I want to do. I'm actually managing other people's ideas and what they want to do and what they have to bring to this. It's a different, you come at it in a different way in a group, you know? Maybe you've worked on a team where you all share ideas and you kind of vote on what's best, or, you know, what to compromise on, non-negotiables, all that kind of stuff. But like, then there's like becoming a leader where your ideas are important, but it's also important to listen to everyone else's ideas. And when people don't have an idea, and not even you got to step up, right? When everyone's looking at you to pick between two decisions, maybe it's two options, maybe it's your job to think of a third option people aren't thinking of. So you got to think outside the box. People are sharing good ideas with you. You had to you'd be able to kind of filter through the ideas that, you know, work or don't work. Are you going to make people feel bad? Are you going to reward people who are doing well? Are you going to have to figure out who's like copying someone else's idea, or throwing out this idea for their own personal gain or for their own, you know? Like, it's a different games of ideas, you know? So you might have been used to being like, oh, I have ideas and I can implement them. But then working with other people's ideas is a whole nother ball game, right? So you got to think on a whole different level, and expands in so many different ways, where you're filtering through other people's ideas, but also when people are stuck, they look to you, and you're kind of have to show up, and you got to think in different ways that, you know, you're not just one of the team members, you're the leader. And so it's kind of that energy where it's like kind of like you don't expect that kind of leap, that kind of jump. In becoming a leader, you might have thought that it was like a really one note type of energy, and it ended up being like 10-20 note type of energy. Like, it's like a much more complex than you probably imagined. You were able to lead yourself. You might be able to lead one or a few others, but this is like a whole other ball game, right? So I'm getting that type of energy. You're stepping up in a very, very big way, but you're prepared for it. I don't think you're overwhelmed. I think you have a lot of experience. I'm just saying that, like, you're going to go from like 0 to 100 very quickly. So just be aware. Not even 0, but maybe like you're cruising 20 miles per hour, and you're like, I'm just here to kind of enjoy 30 miles per hour. Just like enjoy the scenery. You know, I like how my car looks. I like how I'm connecting with the environment. And then very quickly you're like on a rocket ship, and you're like, oh wow, I have to change to this energy. I have to step up. I have to think differently, behave, connect with others differently, act differently. And you're definitely going to be given one or more roles where you feel that immediately. Okay, so what happens next in love for you? Pay attention to red flags. Know the warning signs of what an unhealthy connection looks like. I do feel like how there's going to be a ton, like an abundance of ideas coming to you, and it's going to it's going to make you stretch your mind in different ways, the way that you receive energies in different ways, the way that you filter through energies in different ways, the way you act on ideas in different ways. But it's also going to help you in love. You're going to be able to filter through love interest really quickly, because you are going to be bringing in with this, like, it's not like you've upgraded your energies maybe more behind the scenes than in public. But with this new public change in status and obvious responsibilities and respect and everything that comes along with the status change, more eyes are on you, more appreciation, more admiration, and also more work. But also just, you know, people recognize that you have a bigger energy, you have more power here, right? Or yeah, people are aware of it, can see it more. You're going to get more eyes on you romantically as well, more people interested in you. And it's the same thing. Do people have their own agendas? Are people on your level? Do they have the right ideas, the right energy to match with you? Can you work with this idea? It's, it's like kind of similar, but it's just like, yeah, you're going to be able to filter through and find the right love connections appropriate for you right now. And I think that's really important, because as you level up, you have your energy levels up. The people that you date or that you pull in level up, but you also still get the stragglers. You get people who might think that you're on your level, or people who might be coming back from your past that might think they still have some claim to you, or there's some people, or they have it in because they connected with you at some point. There might be people who just hit on you because you're on the same level as them, and they don't meet many people on your level as much. And it's just you gotta like filter through and find that true love kind of energy. And I feel like you're a really good BS, you're a really good BS meter. Like, you're really able to BS radar, where you're able to filter through people who are just throwing out dumb ideas because they feel like they have to meet a quota, or they have to, they don't really care, they don't actually even want to be there, right? And the people who just can't throw out good ideas on that level, they just don't have what it takes. They haven't done the work to be able to think on that level, or maybe it's just not them. It's not just in their blood. And then there's people who throw good ideas at you, and people who connect with you on a lot of levels. And it's like, you want to give this connection a chance, see where it goes. Will end up just being some friends, people you want to work with, or is there something there? And then there's like that true partner that comes along that's just like, yeah, they allow me to see things that I can't always see for myself. They help me make the decisions that I would make for myself if I was in a better state, or if I wasn't so overwhelmed. Like, that person comes along, right? And you're able to kind of detect all these things. Okay, healing in reverse. So yeah, I definitely feel like you've done the healing work. So the people who are right for you coming in now are also people who you'll be able to tell have done just the same amount of healing work in their own life. So it's no one who is like pretending like they've done the healing work. There's no one that isn't even aware that they have healing work to done. These are people who are done their healing work, years, months of it. No baggage. Okay, so what's meant for you in love in the long term? Knight of Clouds, the Knight of Cups. Oh, how cute. Overwhelming amount of love, endless bursting love. This is definitely someone that you will have such strong romantic feelings for, that it's never going to feel dull. Even in the bedroom, I'm hearing, it's just always going to be that spark. You guys are going to always keep each other in love and interested and having fun. You guys take the time out to go on the date. You guys take the time out to work on an issue if there's an issue. Make a decision if there's a decision to make. Exciting the other person, doing things that you think will make them happy or make them laugh, or surprise them, or comfort them, or it's just like being what the person needs at that time. It doesn't always have to be excitement. It could be stability. It could be when you need that person to be there for you, you can rely on them. Or like when you need that night in, you can't go out, and you just know that you can't. It will be disastrous for all involved, and they stay in with you and watch that movie and order that takeout. Like, that's that energy. Both of you being there. Both, maybe I'm getting like, it wouldn't even just be one of you. Both of you be like, we're skipping this. We're definitely absolutely skipping this dinner with those friends or that in-law that like just causes chaos. Like, nope, we're on the same page. We don't feel bad or guilty about it. Let's stay in. I'm getting that energy. Definitely the excitement part too, though. I feel like there, whatever the connection needs, both of you are excited to share it with the other person. That's the energy I'm getting. Long term. The dreamer, Pisces, yeah, with the Knight of Cups here, I'm definitely a lot of this beautiful love energy. The love between the two of you is oceanic. It's very deep love. Never a dry spell I'm hearing, but unconditional, but always flowing. Overflowing, I'm hearing. There's definitely, it doesn't feel like you're going to run out. It doesn't feel like you're going to get bored. It doesn't feel like what if and oh no, like could we have and, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's a very much like an endless love energy, like an endless summer I'm hearing. It's kind of like an energy of like, it doesn't quit. It just doesn't quit. It just keeps giving love. And I feel like for this pile, specifically pile 22, you've actually done the work in regards to getting that unconditional love, that very exciting, very beautiful, long-lasting, till death do you part type of love. This is so good. This is so good. This is the energy where you two want to come to reincarnate together again in a lifetime to share this kind of love. You kind of did the work. A lot of people think they did the work and say they did the work, but you actually did the work, pile 22, to manifest this type of love. I am getting, for some of you, this might be you're meeting this person a little bit later in life. And so if you're a little bit, if you feel like you're kind of at a place where it's like later in your life already, like this person's probably going to come in, but I do feel like you meet this person after, like, you feel like you've lived a lifetime already in this lifetime, in this physical life, if that makes sense. Like, it does feel like this energy that like you already married and had kids or something like that, or you could have at this point already had this other, like, quote unquote normal life or something with a partner. You did already, or you could have already at this point. That's the type of energy, like, and that's why you're meeting this love now, and that's why you're having this like amazing, fantastic love life for the rest of your life. That's why I'm getting like time doesn't actually matter to people who actually like do the work, because like it's all divine timing, right? And yeah, you might get older, and yeah, if you want to have kids, or you know, you want to enjoy things with more energy while you're more youthful and have that type of energy, it doesn't matter to people who are actually like doing the work and trust the divine, because when you're in that relationship, you will be very youthful energy. You will be able to do whatever you want in this lifetime still, no matter what your age is. And you might even be able to reverse your age. You might be able, you know, be able to manifest what you want in different ways that you wanted when you were younger or something. Or if you feel like if you had this love earlier in life, you don't think that way. And that's why you're getting this incredible love that's going to last you an entire lifetime. Every day is going to be magical, beautiful, just the way that you always imagined you could. And that's why it doesn't matter, because you're lucky to have that much time with someone you love that incredibly, you know, and it doesn't matter to you anymore when you met. It just matters to you that they're there right now, right? Okay, so what will be the significance of your twin flame later in life? I totally forgot about your twin flame. I wasn't even thinking about them. We're in this other energy now. That's how I know. Like, you're totally over your twin flame. Healthy choices. Okay, so I do feel like when you think of your twin flame in the future, I do feel like you'll remember how when you came into your twin flame union, or when you first discovered the twin flame theory, or had those romantic twin flame energy around you, that it always reminded you to kind of be a little bit more healthier, or to do something a little bit more divine, more perfected soul energy. I'm getting like kind of do like level up, do something a little bit more advanced, more disciplined, or more divine, if that makes sense. So whenever you think about your twin flame in the future, That's what it's going to remind you of. Empathic starseed. It came out in reverse. Energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. It came out in reverse. I definitely get that. Besides making healthy choices thing, or being a little bit more, going a little bit more advanced or extreme in your, I'm getting specifically like health choices or something like that. Like for example, you know, you can level up your game in your diet or something like that. Like maybe later on when you think of your twin flame, it's gonna be like, you know, you could probably, you know, a lot of people have vices and a lot of people kind of allow themselves to enjoy life and indulge in physical things, and that's all well and done. But I feel like you're someone who can level it up, you know, work out a little bit more, or help people a little bit more, or take care of yourself a little bit more, or indulge. It could be a time it's a reminder to indulge a little bit more if you've been too strict, or be a little bit more strict and disciplined because you can. Most people can't, but that's the reminder of the twin flame if they come up for you in the future. But also to cut people's energies off. So that's why I got both ways, like to be a little bit more strict and disciplined, to just do something more perfected and divine, and also the other way, like having to say no to people, cut people off, being like, I can't help you right now, or wash off other people's energies, literally, you know, and indulge and be like more selfish, or it's not selfish to take care of yourself, but like focus on self-care. So I feel like whenever your twin flame comes up for you in the future, that's the energy it's going to remind you of, depending on the context of your life, whatever you're doing at the time. All right, pile 22, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. I did not know where this reading was going to go, and I am very surprised at what's coming through. Let me know if it resonated, if it makes sense, if this is what you're expecting. I was not. Does it make sense? Does it resonate? I'm still I'm going to have to listen to all these readings because like it's just so much, and it's just so specific, detailed, but broad and all encompassing, and at the same time like overwhelming. I don't know how to take it. I'm just going to channel. I'm just going to shut up and keep going. All right, pile 22. Appreciate you. Love you. Hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. Much love and light. Hi, beautiful pile 33 with the Sunstone. We're looking at what's after the twin flame for you. Okay, so we're going to look at what happens immediately, if there's sign synchronicity, something that happens for you to signify that this energy has shifted. What's next in love specifically for you, what's meant for you long term, and then what will be the significance of your twin flame later in life. Okay, so let's start with what happens immediately after your energy officially leaves the twin flame connection, or the twin flame journey, or, you know, was absolutely over or changed or transmuted, or when it's done doing whatever it's supposed to do for you. And what are some sign synchronicities? Okay, incantation. I'm getting that there's going to be at least one, if not more, people who come to you and kind of tell you about the twin flame journey, or tell you about like something like spiritual or soulmates, something like that. Like they're talking to you about, I'm getting specifically twin flame energies, but like it could be any kind of divine love, counterpart, soulmate, twin souls, whatever you want to call it, type of energy. Okay, and what is this in regards? Scorpio. Intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. Yeah, this energy of, I feel like I'm hearing canceling out the noise and filtering through the bullshit. So I'm hearing, excuse me, I'm filtering through the BS. So I do feel like there's going to be a lot of energies, maybe physical people, maybe videos that pop up on your feed, or ideas you're just going to hear, come across, read, whatever, that is going to repeat some basic twin flame type messages to you, and you're going to easily recognize that, like, yeah, that's just something people repeat over and over because they hear it from someone else. That's not actually true, or it's not true for everyone. It's actually a personal journey, and it's a divine journey. It's a spiritual journey where people will relate to divine love or twin flames or soulmate energies, divine counterpart energies, love energies in their own specific way. And so you're going to have people come and repeat things to you that you might have once believed, but more so just know. Like, these are things that you just already know because you listened to a lot of twin flame readings, read a lot of books, or researched it a lot, talked to people about it, and there's like some things that people repeat. I'm getting that you're going to hear some things that are repeated to you that you've heard before, or someone's just like repeating what they heard from other people, and you're going to feel like in not genuine, not authentic, and then people are just kind of parroting what they hear. And you knowing better than that, you knowing the true meaning behind twin flames, or the true meaning behind the spiritual concept, or true meaning behind this this idea for you personally, and or how it can resonate with other people more genuinely and deeply. But like, you're seeing kind of like the surface level stuff, and what people kind of repeat and just hear, and may not grasp the deeper meaning for it, or may not apply it to their own personal life in a more resonant way, and just kind of repeating things that they hear that might not be true, or that might not be true for everyone, or they might be saying it inauthentically. So you could tell, you can feel the energy, you know it, you can sense it just by the way they say it sometimes. So I'm getting that type of energy is going to come up for you immediately. And then what happens next in love for you? Be honest. Yeah, heart-to-heart conversations are necessary. It is safe for you to talk about your feelings. I do feel like whatever comes through in love for you next is like someone you're going to be able to be honest with, and just be able to tell them. I'm getting like, even if they don't kind of reciprocate this type of energy to you, they'd be kind of open and willing to listen to you at the very least. For some of you, they are going to reciprocate, but there's this energy of like you just being kind of completely honest, like, hey, yeah, like this is the kind of relationship I had with the person, or this is how I related to love before, or, you know, this is where I'm at in love right now. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to talk about your past, you don't have to talk about your ideologies or theories, but you can just honestly come at love with where you are at now. You can honestly tell people, like, this is where I'm at with love, or this is what I want from love, or this is what I expect, this is what I want from a relationship, this is how I feel about love. Like, you can honestly talk about love and not second guess it, not question it, not feel like this is someone else's idea, it's not mine, or this is what I hope for in love, but it's not actually what I think I can get, or what I think I want, or something. Is there something about like just being genuinely able to have a conversation about love and be like, this is completely me, I completely honestly believe everything I just came out of my mouth, that kind of truth in love. So that's what's coming up and next in love. Let's see if it's long term, short term. Calling back. Interesting. So I'm getting you're definitely calling back an energy, because like there's this energy of like you always wish you could have said this to someone. So maybe it's not someone in particular, maybe it's not a specific person, maybe it is for some of you. Maybe that person's coming back, or someone like that person who has a similar energy. So it's going to be nice and fun and easy for you to kind of finally say it to that person in their face. Like, this is what I always want to say about love, and I can finally say it to you, or someone that has that same energy. So it feels like, like, you know, weight off your back, or you can finally breathe or let go now. But for some of you, it doesn't have to be a specific person or energy. It's just being able to, for yourself, be like, I can be honest and genuine and real in love, and not be ashamed or scared or quiet or afraid of it, or confused or not sure or doubting myself in how I actually come at love and my love energies, how I say, how I flirt, how I talk about love, how I is exactly how I want to, is exactly real me. I don't feel ashamed. I don't feel worried. I don't feel overly excited. I don't feel distrust or dishonesty or weird or confused or unsure. I know this is me in love, and I'm being totally, completely myself. So that's the kind of energy I'm getting. Like, just being whoever you come across next. I do feel like it's more temporary for most of you, where it's just kind of like, look at what I can do now, how I can talk about love. It's so refreshing for you, refreshing to you. Maybe for a few of you, this is kind of like a dating phase, or just telling someone from your past off, or telling a past energy off, or just kind of doing something for yourself that you feel like you needed to do. That's why I feel like it's a temporary energy for some of you, for most of you. But it could be something where you meet someone and it just gets off on the right foot. Both of you just being honest in love. So that's good. What's meant for you long-term in love? What's meant for you long-term in love? The High Priestess. Wow, the gift. I do feel like you are a very gifted, intuitive soul. You're very far along in your spiritual journey, and you do deserve someone who is on your level, and you will find that, and you will know when you find that. Taurus, the sensual. And I do feel like you're someone who I'm getting really touchy-feely, or even if you weren't before, you are now, because you've definitely have upped your love game so much. You deepened your capacity for love, your understanding of love, your ability to love, and your heart chakra is completely healed and open, and you're just big on love. I said love. I can't even count how many times in this pile, and there's definitely an energy of feeling like I finally get this love, I finally have this love, and wanting to like be sensual, be touchy-feely, hug, kiss, be sensual, caress, cuddle, and do the deed in many different ways, many loving ways, share your love, affection, physically, a lot. And it does extend outside the body. I'm getting through gifts and through the environment, and through cooking for each other, through healing and helping each other through sickness and health, and this energy of really like grounding in that love, like feeling that love physically between the two of you. Because the two of you already are very highly spiritual and probably have experienced love a lot only on that highly spiritual level, like through the divine, through self-love, through love of the divine in other ways, your spirit guides, your spirit team, your ancestors, your love for the connections you've had in your past life, for locations, for the things in your life, the ideas, all this and that. Love for everything intangible. Or everything but the romantic love that you get, that physical love that matches that high. See, aren't you glad now, Pile 33, that you went through all that spiritual work and all that spiritual love? Because now you get to experience it so deeply, so wonderfully, so long-lastingly, so sensually, with your partner in many ways, outside, like with the body, a lot, tons, oh my goodness, in all the ways. And also physically through gifts and food and joy, indulgences, and tactile things, feel fragrance. And I'm just getting your environment, just like, upgrading your environment, giving gifts for each other, and enjoying physical things like that. Okay, so what will the significance of your twin flame be for you later in life? What the significance of the twin flame for you later in life? The mirror. Okay. Mirroring each other, self-reflection, introspection, inner wounds. Okay, so I do feel like you're passing on that mirror energy that your twin flame was so perfectly able to do for you to this person. So I do feel like your twin flame is not, even if it's energetic, isn't going to need to show up for you, because this new partner is going to be able to mirror you much better in this lifetime than your twin flame energy could. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. For some of you, this is your twin flame energy, or you might think this is your true twin flame energy, or it could be your twin flame energy in a different body. I don't know. There's so many different ways you can manipulate or contort, edit, refine the theory of twin flame to suit your specific need, which is how it could become dangerous for people who are obviously not mentally, emotionally able to handle something like that. But for those who can, you definitely already contorted, and especially with the incantation card here, made the twin flame journey what you needed it to be for you, you know? And so that's why I feel like when the twin flame, if you're ever reminded of your twin flame again and then in the future, it's more kind of trust where you are right now. Trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be, doing what you're meant to do. And even if there is like a pause or some time for patience or some time for things to come in, or maybe you want a goal, or maybe a lot of goals between you and your partner and spirit, like you've been trained by the twin flame journey. One of the things that was like a main lesson arc for you in the twin flame journey, the twin flame theory, was patience and divine timing, knowing that things happen when you're ready. And sometimes even when you're ready, you just kind of have to let go and let God, because you're very intuitive, and sometimes you know things are going to happen before they do. And so it's just kind of like you just kind of let things play out sometimes. Sometimes you aren't meant to go have all the right answers, or know what action to take, or have the opportunity pop up right then and there. You're meant to just kind of let it flow and let it happen, even if you're already. And sometimes things will manifest when you kind of do the thing you're supposed to do. And so it's kind of like working with time in a different way. So if you do have any reminders of your twin flame, it's kind of like, remember what you had to deal with on your twin flame journey. Remember things manifested when they're supposed to. Things manifested when you finished some inner work or some healing work, or when you connected to the divine, when you got creative, when you did some intuitive work, when you let your intuitive ideas flow, and how you get to pick the ideas, choices, how you let it guide your decisions for the future. And sometimes you might be all ready to go and ready for the next thing, or the next goal, the next part of the goal. And it's going to happen when it happens. And there might be a reason why it's coming in a little bit later than now. Or why it's coming in now rather than later, because sometimes it surprises you and things show up sooner than you expect. And so it's kind of like, the divine timing aspect is probably the best way to, like, if you get reminded of your twin flame in the future, like how that works, because it's a hard thing to learn, divine timing, unless you've experienced it, kind of, because it works outside of time. And in this physical realm, it's like, we're all kind of waking up to a different way of understanding time, different construct of time. Even in the past, we've, and throughout human history, we all related to time differently at different times of human history. So it's just kind of like, this is one of those times where a lot of people are relating to time and cycles differently, and a lot of us are thinking 5D or higher, which is like, energetically, time doesn't exist. And so it's just kind of like, divine timing is one of those things that's hard to grasp unless you've kind of had experience with it. And it's going to suit you, it's going to serve you well in the future, Pile 33. Because I do feel you getting more grounded. You're still very, very highly spiritual, but you're more grounded and in your body than you ever have been. It's going to be very helpful. Like, I'm getting I'm going to pull a clarifier for you. I'm getting that, like, there might be, is the timing going to be specific? Yeah, see, no more waiting. You're not going to be waiting anymore because you know if you're meant to, like, if something's not coming in, then it's not meant to come in right now. Also, if something isn't coming in, because there's something else you're supposed to do first. Like, you get when things are supposed to come in later, or if there's something you're supposed to do right now instead of this thing coming in. You are able to discern that in timing very well. Yeah. Which is going to be very helpful for you, because I do feel like it's like, I feel like there's like a huge relief from you, because just knowing that alone takes away worry and stress, because you don't feel like you're waiting around for something. You don't feel like you're waiting around for something that you know that you think might not happen. You know things are going to happen, and you know things are going to either happen now or later, or if things are going to happen because you had to do something first. Like, that clarity. See, this is the type of skills I'm telling you that you learn on the twin flame journey that most people don't think about teaching themselves and learning, right? But you have, and that tool is going to come in. That's going to be indispensable for you in the future, because it's going to save a lot of time for you, save a lot of worrying and stress, and allow things to manifest easier, because you're going to be like, you're going to put it away in your brain. I do see a lot of good things coming back for you too. Wow, yeah. You're going to be able to not just manifest things faster, but like I'm getting like be able to discern, because like with the naked people here, the naked family here, it's like there's a lot of people who are like, give me all this big money, but their energies isn't equipped to hold on to that much money. And if you give that person that much money, like they'll just lose it all really quickly, or it'll be taken as a negative energy. It's like very few people can be able to hold that type of energy without being prepared for it, or being very grounded. And I feel like there's like so many levels of discernment that comes in for you. There's a feather that just popped across the screen. I don't know what it came off of, but there's a feather that just came through. And the angel here, I do feel like it's significant. Like, you're able to hear the angel's call. You're able to pick up sign synchronicities. And I do find it significant that the 7 and the 9 of Pentacles came up. I feel like there's something here the Spirit wants me to get, and I'm not getting it. Let's see. Okay. Teaching, coaching, mentoring, and role model. That's a given for you. And material things, yeah. I do feel like you have such, because I got the sensual thing, the Taurus energy here. I do feel like you have such a good handle on manifestation, because like I feel like you allow for the manifestation to happen. There's something about like you allow the manifestation to happen. You allow the energies to come through. You know when there's like a physical action you need to take, a spiritual action, healings, learning something that you had to clear, that type of action. Or if there's like set it and forget it type of energy. Like I definitely feel like you learn something about manifestation that's like very, very helpful. So much so that you actually help people with it. So I just see this family, like you help people with it who doesn't have, they don't know, like people don't know, like there's things that you need to learn to manifest more. And this is like, I'm hearing this is part of that occult knowledge that a lot of like the one percenters and those like, families that are out there have access to this type of knowledge, and it's kept from us. These are the things that you need. These are the skills and abilities that you need to master and know about and learn about that we aren't aware of always, that help you with the material things. And not even just like manifesting things. I'm getting like ideas, inventions, innovations, but just like specific things that people would need and want that you're like, this would be a good fix for this person, or very unique items. Like we all have like mass produced items nowadays, and I'm getting this energy of like having a more uniquely suited, uniquely fitted item for that specific issue, problem, place, thing, situation, time. Imagine that if you make like I'm seeing like a cast on someone. Like, so for someone, if, for example, if someone needed like a specific type of leg cast, or like something to help with their walking, or biomedical like limb or something like that, like having it specifically made for that person. And also I'm getting like, I'm seeing like not cookie cutter type of energy. Okay. That might mean something to you, might not. Both these cards that came out in reverse, I do feel this energy of both you and your partner may be in that type of energy. But you two with the 33 here and this specific deck and a lot of angel energy, there is this energy of connecting to the divinely very strongly. You might even know how to do that, like how to connect to source energy better. Like there's so many things that we could have learned back in like elementary school, primary school, whatever you call it, that we could have learned to help manifest and to work with energies better and work with frequency better, that we have to kind of learn now as adults and teach other adults and people to think differently, to think in a different way. This occult knowledge that was being hidden from us is available through the Akashic, through our own intuition, through our own connection with each other and to God, to source. So that's coming forward. What were we even talking about? Twin flames? I don't even know. You're over that. You're on to the next thing. If I forgot about it, you forgot about it, and that's a good thing, because we're on to the next thing. Like the twin flame energy and journey did what it's supposed to do. Now we're ready for that, manifesting heaven on earth, 5D energies, 5D world, right? All right, pile 33. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If it resonated, for me, everything seems kind of like chaotic. These readings seem like a hodgepodge of everything, and it's like kind of overwhelming and confusing for me too. I'm gonna have to listen back to it later, but let me know if anything stood out to you, something that you think is an idea that should be expanded upon or talked about more in our community. Let me know, pile 33, if this reading resonated for you, if you liked it, if I should do more with it, if this is kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know how to take it either. All right, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light. Hi, beautiful pile 44 with the red Jasper. We're looking at what's after the twin flame for you. We're going to be looking at what happens immediately after that energy of the twin flame officially ends, or that cycle ends, or that journey is come to an end, or it's done what it's supposed to do for you. You're disconnected or ready to move on for real, whatever the energy is. If there's signs, synchronicities that will make it obvious for you that this is a sign it's actually done, or you've completed what you need to complete and you're ready for what's next. And then we'll look at what's next in love for you immediately, and then what's meant for you in love long term, and what the significance of your twin flame will be later for you in life. All right, so let's look at what's happening immediately for you right after this twin flame energy kind of is done for you, or if you completed it. Some signs, synchronicities. Eagle in reverse. I do get, you might see some bigger birds, higher flying birds a lot. You might see falcons or eagles, herons, or even just bigger birds in general, like geese or swans. I don't know if you've ever seen a swan flying, but that was the most magical moment in my life. I remember it was shortly after I started my spiritual journey, and at the same time was my twin flame journey. But I was at on a walk at the reservoir, and I was by myself, and I went during the day, so like no one else was there basically, and I just saw this swan. It was just one swan sitting on the water, and I'm like, oh cool, there's like a swan over there, and it just like came up and flew over my head. And I don't know if you've ever heard a swan, but I never knew it made that noise. It was so magical sounding. It's a sound I've never heard a bird make before, and it flew over my head. And I don't know if you've ever seen Pokemon, but if you're in my generation, you've heard of, played with, seen Pokemon at one point. But the first episode of Pokemon, the show, like a Moltres kind of flies over the head. And it's like this golden legendary bird, and it's like such a magical moment at the end of the first episode. And it was kind of like that for me, and it just kind of flew over my head. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it swung back around and flew right beside me, and I could hear the vibrations, that beautiful sound that I was making. And I was like, is that a swan? And like, it was like so elegant the way it was flying, unlike any other bird I've ever seen flying. Sound wise, movement wise, beauty wise, it's just otherworldly. But yeah, any like other big birds like that, ravens, maybe even crows, but I'm getting like, you know, like a big bird, a significant bird that like flies higher, you know, the higher perspective kind of energy. You probably see a lot of birds, or maybe their feathers. Yeah, some reference to high-flying birds or bigger birds. More keen, more predatory, but more divinely connected. Yeah. More rare type birds as well. Okay. And what else would happen immediately after this energy? Yang energy, that masculine energy. Proclivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. Oh, it's proactivity, not proclivity. Proclivity. Yeah, sorry, it's getting darker earlier. I do not like daylight savings, and I do think it's a disruption to our circadian rhythm, to our natural systems, and it's used to kind of keep us messed up and continue to mess up our energies. Totally against it. Absolutely hate it. Shouldn't be there. But anyway, proclivity. I'm hearing with the birds, and that I heard predatory proclivity. I feel like you are very connected to spirit. You are very intuitive, and you are highly intelligent. You also have a deep capacity for love, and you understand emotions on a deeper and more complex level than most people. You also have a lot of wisdom from the experiences that you've had, and you just know a lot of things about a lot of stuff. Diverse knowledge base, expansive skill set, and ability to learn fast. And you have that extra special sauce. Like you just, like, you know, can pick up things, learn things quicker, connect things faster. You have that you have the je ne sais quoi, that extra little something special that just makes life, I want to say easier for you, but doesn't mean it, but it's been much tougher for you because of that. You're connected. You're more connected, and you connect things easier, and that's just your abilities. But because you have those abilities, it does make understanding things and understanding people and situations easier and better for you. But it's because it also goes hand in hand with very difficult life experiences, and I'm hearing, in order to train those specific skills and abilities. You know, not everyone wants to take on that type of lifetime. So I'm hearing like an elitist type of mentality, feeling a little bit better than others, or knowing that you're a little bit better than others. You know, merit-wise, you put in the energy and effort. You decided to take on more challenges, or faced more challenges, came out through the other side, had more diverse experiences, access to more knowledge or information, or just the willpower and desire to learn more. You have a more curious mind, more intellectual mind, and again, we said more intuitive, more connected, natural ability to lead, to be charismatic, or be the person that needs to show up for this specific thing. You're able to just kind of show up and do what you need to do, whatever the situation or challenge or situation requires, or the situation requires. So, you're lucky because of that. Not many people have that skill, ability, talent, natural gift. But, and I feel like you're aware of that sometimes. You resented it sometimes, but all in all, you're better for it. You know that, and you're grateful for it. And you're definitely more aware that not everyone has that special thing that you do. Yeah, you probably went through your journey. I'm hearing your twin flame arc or your spiritual journey arc. A lot of it was kind of like knowing when you are better at things than others, and knowing when to press that and not to press that. And you probably had this feeling of like overwhelming kindness where you treat everyone equally, and then realize that not everyone is supposed to be treated the same exact way. It's on a person-to-person basis kind of thing, right? And not undermining yourself and not overselling yourself, and knowing when to pull the merit card and when not to, kind of, and to speak to the whole, or to let someone else have a chance, or when you should stay with a group, with an energy, with a vibe, and when it's not okay to stay with a group, a person, a vibe, that type of thing, it's not an ego, it's not a rank thing, but I'm getting this energy of like knowing what energy to come at, knowing what energy, what status of energy to be at, I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so what happens next in love for you? Beware of codependency, and it came out in reverse. Addictive behaviors are affecting your romantic life. Ugh. Okay, so if you see my readings recently, just know my general vibe. We've talked about it in the comment section. Like, there's this whole thing about being independent and codependency is bad. And we had to literally bring out the term interdependent to show people that you can depend on people. You can depend on people to show up and do the thing that they're supposed to do, for work. Otherwise, how companies keep workers around, you can depend on your partner to show up and share the responsibilities. You can, there's a sense of interdependency. You can expect your friend to show up for you when you need them, and vice versa. So dependence, you were meant to connect with people. We were meant to kind of form bonds with others, and we are a dependent species. We're one of the only mammals that spend so much time with our parents in our youth, in our infancy. So there is more dependence in our energies on other people and our family and our partners and our community. And that just kind of goes along with a high level of intellect and higher capacity to do things, It's like an extra level. And so that came out in reverse. So let me see the other clarifier. Desire in reverse. I feel like there's a desire here to really be one with your partner, more than I feel like most people might think is okay, or more than most people might like for themselves, and that's okay. There's partners out there that spend a lot of time together, that spend time doing more little things throughout the day, connecting more, talking more, having sex more, having kids more, working more, working together more, spending time away from each other more. Like, it doesn't matter. There's this energy of like, it feels unacceptable to other people. Like, this is a little bit, this level of dependency or this level of wanting my partner seems a little bit different or unacceptable by social standards, or unacceptable or unusual or abnormal compared to the people in my community or my friend circle, my family circle, and that's fine. The level at which you come at love is different than others. It's like sometimes deeper, sometimes different, sometimes just more unique, and it works for you and it works for your partner. And is there something, this is like what's coming up next in love. I feel like we're gonna really, really sense this when I feel like this next person that comes in for you, or whatever happens next in love for you, really, because I feel like for some of you, you might be with this person, but I do feel like you both kind of discover more of your deeper desires. And I do get that, yes, in the bedroom, of course, in terms of, but also in your relationship and out of life. I feel like the both of you allow yourselves to go there a little bit more. This could be allowing your partner to be in that creative career or hobby that's never going to make any money or may not go anywhere. I'm hearing that type of energy. Like, you're really, really unrestricting the two of you, unrestricting yourselves, not enabling, but allowing the other to kind of really explore their desire in their passions for you, for love, in their relationship with you, but also in life with their hobbies and their passions in life. I do not see infidelity, so don't worry about like exploring love and relationships with other people unless that's what you two both want, like strongly. But I do feel like for most of you, it's kind of like allowing your partner to do that hobby that a lot of partners that might not be okay with, or to spend that much time in, or something like that. Or but I do feel like I feel like it's like discovering process with whoever you meet next or whoever you're with now. I feel like if you're with someone now, like, you're going to be deepening your connection, especially if it's like, if you've been with them, it's like deepening the connection in a brand new, profound way. Both of you kind of getting like a download where it's like the energy's hit and you're both like ready for this. I do feel like for most people though, it's someone new. So whether you've been just dating someone and both of you kind of just getting this energy of like, let my guard down. Or if I do feel like for most of you, this is someone new coming in, whether this person is long-term or just someone who kind of opens you up for allowing yourself to go there, whatever there is for the two of you. Really just, I'm hearing opening yourself up. All right, so what's meant for you in love long-term? The Lovers. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm getting that kind of energy of like an explosion, and I know some of your minds are going right there, but I'm getting it's more than that. It's like an enduring explosion, a crashing of the waves and the sand meeting together. It's this energy of like allowing the other person to kind of crash land, or like not crash land, but like more like kind of I'm hearing like throw their ideas at you and kind of like seeing what sticks, seeing what works kind of energy, as just kind of like being totally and completely uninhibited. And that kind of translates into whatever creative project you have going on in your life. In music, I'm seeing in dance, and in art, in whatever hobby this passion project. It's just kind of like I'm getting you just let your mind go there and wander, and the more explosive ideas come through. It could be like the frequency that you two have lovemaking. It could be the kind of lovemaking that you have, or like the because I you know, like I'm not getting like you're going and all like it's like you know, it's not like kind of you have to have all these different ways of lovemaking. I'm getting it's just like the way that you make love is like these waves crashing onto the sands and the shore. Like it's just like very, it opens up your mind and body in a way to source energy, to ideas, to your creativity, to your intuition, that it really helps you along in making decisions for your partnership, for your family, for your future, to problem solve in your business, to bring through creative ideas that were unheard of, not innovative enough, or not connected in those unique way in your creative pursuits. It's explosive in the best way. It's not explosive like, oh my God, it's like crazy every time. I'm just getting like very beautiful imagery of two people like making love, and one of those kind of like filters or something like that, that's just like what is it, like the sun overlay, the sun rays, like those colors kind of coming over the two of you. It's just like very cause I do feel like it's like expected. It's just like the two of you, this is how you make love, this is how you make sacred love. I'm getting, so it's just like you're not even there, you just become the water, you just become the ocean, and you just crash against the sand. You just let yourselves do what you're supposed to do. I'm getting, it's so out of body, and like it's kind of one of those energies where you're kind of like you're in the energy of the lovemaking, not in your actual bodies, and you're feeling yourself, them, and the energy between the two of you, that kind of energy. Okay, communication and interaction, the third house. Yeah, that so goes with the vibe I was just explaining, because like the way that you think, speak, and express yourself, and how you kind of, you're not just like, it's not just the two of you anymore, you're the two of you and the energy between you, the two of you and the environment around you. You're the bed, you're the sheets, you're the room, you're the sun, you're the window, the sunlight coming through the window, and you're this, you know, hitting the flower, the vase of whatever, hitting your face, hitting your hair, the sunlight. You're the energy of everything in that space and that energy, right? That's the energy I'm kind of getting, and that kind of opens you up to more ways to express yourself, more intuitive hits, and it's just like the best brainstorming session you could have for yourself. And it's very pure, it's very divine, it's very authentic for the two of you. I'm hearing it's very surreal, because it just feels like, wow, like I can't even describe. It's very beautiful, and I love how like the hair of this two couple and this love card is a star. It's like I feel like you two connect to yourself and the divine together at the same time. It's like in a way that's like indescribable for most, and something that a lot of people hope to achieve, want to achieve, doesn't even know exists, kind of thing, you know? All right, so that's the kind of love that's meant for you, pile 44. That sounds me. I forget sometimes this is a twin flame reading. Like this pile 44, you definitely, you're moved on. You're on to this next level energy. Okay, so what will be the significance of your twin flame later in life then? Self-indulgence in reverse. Self-worth, value, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. And you're not alone in reverse. Isolation, physical connection, community. I do feel like for this pile specifically, like you're going to be like attached at the hip with your partner. Like you'll always want to be around each other, moving with each other, moving in the same vibe with each other. In synchronicity, moving in synchronicity with each other. Always. I feel like anytime you think about the twin flame in the future, because self-indulgence came out in reverse, I do feel like it's like when you need to kind of disconnect from your partner and kind of be on your own and to do your own self-care, self-love. But the thing is, the two of you are so connected, you can have self-love and self-care with your partner, but there might be a significant reason why you are meant to kind of go off on your own a little bit, take a little break and, take that bath by yourself or go off on like a little, visit your friend or family for a weekend or something. There might be a reason why you're meant to kind of go off and take care of yourself alone for once rather than with your partner. So if you ever see your twin flame come up in their energies again in the future, that might be one reason. But I do feel like in this lifetime, once you come into your partnership with your partner, like it's going to be a very, very, like both of you just kind of being all over each other, wanting to be close to each other. Even if it's like quiet, you both just kind of are able to understand each other's energies, each other's movements, each other's micro expressions, and just can't get enough of each other, I'm hearing. I'm just seeing like you can spend like days or a whole week just kind of like making love and thinking of ideas and like kind of letting that happen. Just letting life happen while you kind of just witness and be aware of it and just feel it and in more ways than just the physical senses, and just be in that energy, be aware of it, just witness and hold it, It almost feels like you're not of this earth anymore. It's just kind of like you're in a different dimension most of the time. I see this like kind of like 70s, like in a shack type thing, bungalow, just like type of energy, just flowy clothes, robes on, barely clothed most of the time, and just being so like sensuous eyes, and just like be out of it kind of energy is what I'm feeling for you. But it's gonna be definitely more, obviously more grounded. Let me pull a couple out clear first just to make sure. The Empress, yeah. Sharing, of course you two are going to share your energies, and the Yang is kind of like an Emperor energy. So we got the Emperor and the Empress. Like both of you are just so in your authentic energies and so powerfully and divinely connected. Of course you're going to share with others, but you can spend a lot of time with each other, if that makes sense. Yeah, Queen of Cups. You love to share love with each other. You have an abundance of love you share with each other emotionally, in your communication, the way you say things to each other, the way you do things for each other, the way that you express your love for each other. But that's why you have so much for each other, that you can share it with other people. I do get, for a lot of you, that's going to be like showing other people how to reach that place in love where you can do that. Oh God, illegal, crime, hazardous, on the down low, someone you talk to, and career. Yeah, I do feel like you had it's like a hidden knowledge. Somebody talking. I'm getting word of mouth. I feel like you do help people. I feel like you're one of those, like, one of those people who has like a business card with like one word on it or something like that. And it's like, if you know, you know. If you get the invite, you get the invite. If you know the right connections to find that person in the middle of the woods, or like in the, hidden in plain sight. Like, it's like one of those things where, like, if people know that you have this knowledge to give or share or to hand, are you physically helping people do this, or soulmate? You're helping people find their soulmate, or connect with their soulmate. Connect with their soulmate more. Starting researching, yeah. I feel like you work with other soulmates, which is why it's hard for people to find you, because you only connect with people who are on that high level divine connection, and you help them health. I feel like you work with them. You write, you read, you research, you do artwork. You help them, but they also, some of them are on your level. It depends. There's some people that you Is this business in hiding? You don't need to market. You don't have like a product. I feel like you sell your ideas, you sell your writing, you sell your music, your artwork, or you just put it out there. I don't feel like you don't even really make money off of it. It just comes to you. What do you do for money then? Work event. I feel like you might do some sessions, some lectures, some events here and there, but it's very exclusive, very private, or very expensive. So you do it once in a while. Because I'm like, how do you even make money off of this? And I'm getting you do really well. And I feel like you share most of your ideas or work for free. And if you do have clients or people you work with, collaborate with, it's like very few and far between. Like you have to have like the right type of energy to even find you guys and to work with you guys. But I do feel like you have events that you do here and there, but you like rarely show up. You're like barely show yourselves in public sometimes. And it's because like you attract a lot of energy. You like, without even trying. Both of you are in such strong love energies that you attract people who love both of you too strongly and too quickly, too much. It's actually, yeah, a little bit dangerous, I'm hearing. So it's like kind of like, yeah, you guys stay home a lot and you work from home a lot and you guys prefer it that way. Yeah, you share your ideas. I feel like you often let other people take care of it, or there's a lot of times where you just kind of share ideas and like you let other people run with it if they want to, or it's like I'm getting it's like open source, like you just kind of put it out there, and like if people use that idea to help their own lives and help others people or build a career off of it, like you're like, I don't care, the idea's out there, I did my job. Yeah, you often just like throw an idea out there and just like let it be its own thing. In terms of like life, family life and stuff, I do see you like meeting up with family and friends and stuff like that. You have people over a lot and stuff like that, but like you kind of have it small groups, or like small groups, and usually you invite them over to your home and stuff like that, or you only go to places where there's like small gatherings, stuff like that. If you go out for dinner, it's like a small group, or it's more private or secluded, or less people there, or people don't know of that restaurant, or it has exclusivity or something like that. But it's like that type of energy where it's like you just want it to be the two of you, but most of the time, and it's just like hard to kind of separate the two of you, or to kind of get you to go out and do like to show up for work events. Both of you like don't care. You don't even need to. Your energies are so strong and powerful divinely that you guys can manifest whatever you want. And it's like when you come up for air, it's like, okay, well, let's do this and that. All right, Pile 44, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I really appreciate like a comment. Let me know if it resonated, if you think it makes sense. If I was not even here. The channelings of this specific reading, I did not know what to expect. It was very detailed, very specific, and very different than what I was expecting. I will have to listen to them all again because it's just, I couldn't process it while I was channeling. But let me know if there's something like significant or an important message you kind of sensed, or you kind of pulled out from what you've heard, or that you can add on to in the comment section. It'll be helpful to all of us, because like at this point, anyone that comes across this reading, we're all on the same wave and energy mostly, right? Yeah, it'd be helpful. It might be inspirational. Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I wish you much love and light.